Hi, and welcome to Inside the Sound Chamber. I'm Don Reed Simmons. The International Sound Therapy Association is having its 20th anniversary conference in Atlanta, Georgia, where it all began, October the 2nd through the 5th. This is going to be an amazing event that's bringing high-level sound practitioners into one place to be able to gain information, knowledge, wisdom, joy, friendships. It's going to be a great experience. I want everyone who's listening and watching to be able to go to our website, istasounds.org, click the link, and come join us in Atlanta, October the 2nd through the 5th. We've got great speakers, like one of which is here right now. Krista Harris is here, and Krista has been a long-time sound practitioner, as well as an amazing, world-renowned, actually, massage therapist. So you massage therapists out there that are thinking, how do I bridge the gap between massage and sound? Because that's a very important thing. You'll want to come and see Krista Harris. You want to come and just take in the energy of who she is and her wisdom. So, Krista, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of ISTA. Thank you for coming and being a part of the conference. So, tell me just a little bit about how you began your journey into the world of sound.
Knowingly. So, I mean, we've all had a relationship with sound since before we were born. And that is something that I've explored and my work explores deeply since. But many years ago, I've been practicing massage since 1999, 2000, professionally. And I don't remember what year it was, but I took some classes in introducing sound into your massage practice. And they were short classes. They were just like a day or two, workshop. And when I took these classes, I loved it. But I found that when I went back to my practice, I don't think I had, and I did have a Himalayan bowl at that point. I didn't feel this confidence at that point, at that stage, in how to use that in my massage practice. I kind of struggled with that a little bit. Even though I'd taken the class, I learned, but I was like, well, where do you put that in the session? Exactly. And when and how, and everybody's different. So I felt that I could gain some more confidence. And then in 2000, I guess it was 2017, I found out that there was going to be a practitioner, certified therapeutic sound practitioner training program that was of significant length. And it was about 270 hours. They said it was going to, it was going to be a course study and there would be a mentorship. And I thought, wow, my ears kind of perked up when I heard about it. And then I was like, well, who's doing this? Who's teaching this? I kind of looked into it. It was organized through the International Sound Therapy Association, as you know. And that's when I really listened and I thought, I just need this. I have to go to this. In fact, when I found out about it, I think there was only a few weeks before it was starting. And it was almost, I want to say it was almost a year long, the training and all, because, there would be the, the learning and then there'd be the integration period. And I felt super grateful that our instructors who didn't live in Georgia were traveling here. And I thought this is an opportunity not to be missed. And it was really at that point when I began more of a personal, kind of a structured practice with mentorship, with, kind of oversight that I began to really embody the sound.
You know,
Not
the
only with myself, but in my as I introduced it to my practice.
yeah, the CTSP is really a 270-hour program that was designed by Mandara Cromwell and Wendy Young as the quintessential training for sound therapy. And with ISTA, most of its goal is bringing a level of excellence into the world of sound therapy. So let's talk about that just a little bit in regards to the excellence of sound therapy and how did it begin showing up in your world and how did this training really take you into that next level of sound?
Well, one thing that was emphasized throughout from the beginning and then throughout was us developing a personal practice. And we had to document that and journal all of that, the whole entire journey. And just going through the process of practicing it, doing the work, putting the time in, and then journaling about it. I mean, I still have these journals now that I can look back, and I often do look back at where I began with this and then where I am now. And I began to work with sound in different positions, whether it be sitting, lying down, stationary. And I have a background also in yoga, aerial yoga, and formerly aerial acrobatics. So I have a suspension studio where I teach, gentle therapeutic aerial yoga. And so I started working with myself with sound in all these different positions, whether it be walking or standing or sitting or lying down, grounded or suspended, more cocooned or more of an open suspension where I was more expansive. And I journaled about every day, every time, every position that I was in. And the other thing that I did at the time is not only was I writing, and using and putting words to all of this, but I was also creating mandalas the whole time, which was what Wendy had introduced. That was hers. And let's not forget Stephanie Rooker was also
Right.
one of our instructors from the Voice Journey School, I think, in New York.
Hmm.
And that was probably the most challenging part for me was the voice.
Yeah.
But I'm not a musician. I don't have a musical background at all, but that really left me feeling more empowered that even though I'm not a musician and I don't come from that, musically inclined background, that I was able to not only do that work, which helped me profoundly, but introduce that in sessions. And the way I've been practicing since is mostly one-on-one in small groups in my practice. I have done larger, and I periodically do large sound baths, if you will. But I really love working in a small space, small groups, and really tailoring it to the small group or to the individual.
Yeah. The world of aerial yoga now moving through what you're creating is aerial sound, really, aerial resonance therapy. This is what you're teaching, is if I'm not mistaken, is that correct?
But I'll
With the
be
conference.
teaching at the conference, yes.
Tell us about aerial resonance therapy.
Well, it started many years ago, and it wasn't an easy path. There were lots of different things that happened that led to this, to me creating this. And the reason it's named aerial resonance therapy today, because prior to this, it's had many different names over the years, and I did market test some of those. And I landed with aerial resonance because to me, that really kind of conveys what it really is. So it's not just aerial. First of all, it's not aerial yoga, and it's not just aerial massage. It's not just a person being suspended in a piece of fabric. It is so much more than that. And I first introduced this in a community of people who were adoptees, separated from biological family members. Then I introduced it into the sound world. And I introduced it during the training in
Mhm.
2017. And it wasn't until 2022 that I introduced it to other massage therapists outside of my practice,
Mhm.
in Atlanta. I have been doing this for many, many years, and it has continued to evolve, and it will continue to evolve. So since 2022, I've been working toward balancing that private practice into bringing it out and sharing it with others in the larger community, sound practitioners, yoga instructors, even some trainers, even some nurses I've introduced it to, and massage.
What is what is the effect that someone gets when they experience this work?
The fabric suspended becomes a collaborative partner, and the practitioner, the trained practitioner in the room is a facilitator and holds that space. And it also creates a barrier between the individual and the practitioner. And sometimes, not all the time, putting your hands on the person is what is best for that person. Sometimes you need to not touch that person and to put a little bit more space between the two of you.
Mhm.
So it becomes a cocoon. It becomes a safe place. You can never, of course, determine or estimate, what helps a person feel safe. They determine that. So it's very adaptive. It also requires a lot of listening. So the way I'll introduce this to sound practitioners, because some attending may or may not have a license to touch, so where it's not going to be a touch heavy class, it's going to be more of the facilitator and how do you create that resonance between the practitioner and your recipient that is being held inside of that fabric and not putting your hands on them, but guiding them in and out and guiding them through an experience and how you can create that relational field with this person being suspended. If you think about it, Don, when we were born, our parents likely put us in things that swaddled us, that cradled us, that held us, that would swing us, that would, bounce, right? And then we
Mhm.
grow up in these adult bodies, and we never get into that ever again, unless maybe we go to a hammock at the beach or get on a float in a pool or at the ocean, right? We don't really get put ourselves in that situation again. So this can create an experience where it brings the person really back to themselves and creates a womb-like experience. Not everybody experiences that, but it does create that type of experience and memory when you're in that space. So it's going to be how to hold that space and how to create a sound experience with with the person inside of the fabric.
That's just really fascinating. And as you were talking, I was actually thinking about being in the ocean. I'm a scuba diver, and the ability to be weightless in water. And the water itself is almost like a cocoon, because you can feel the pressure, but at the same time, you're floating. And what a great release within the body and mind to have that sensation. And then to bring specific sound into that, it's just got to be very magical for people.
Mhm.
So is this something that our attendees can experience? And then what would they be taking home with them? What is their knowledge that they take home? Are they able to do this kind of thing?
Yeah, they will be able to do this. Now, of course, if they want to get, into suspension, they're going to need the space to do that. They're going to need
Right.
equipment. So I can talk a little bit about that. I will introduce pathways for them to do a deeper training because this is only going to be an introduction, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will have at least one, if not multiple, a few, different suspension where somebody, maybe not everybody, depending on how big the class is. So don't come in and expect, you're going to
Yeah.
be that person that is going to
Yeah.
get into the fabric, right? Because we need a suspension studio. So
Right.
but I do have many, portable equipment that
Yeah.
I will have at least one there, and there will be at least one person, if not more, that I can demonstrate on. So it will also be experiential, but I'm also going to show the attendees how they can actually use fabric and create that experience without having a suspended studio.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They will have something to take with them because what they're really going to get is the principles behind this, and it will expose and open them up to this realm, and it will allow them a great introduction to help them determine if that's something they want to explore further.
The world of sound is so fascinating. And I've been doing this for a very long time, and you never quit learning. There's always something deeper and more. And the ability to, what you're doing is that you're moving this world of sound into a completely different experiential thing. And I got to say, that is just really fascinating. As a true explorer of sound, you're creating a new way that sound is being experienced, and that's pretty phenomenal. Now you're teaching two times with the ISTA conference. First is on October the 2nd, and that's a 2-hour experience. And then on October the 5th, on Monday, it's a different Monday workshop, and that's 4 hours. So will there be a difference of those two workshops, or one deeper than the other? How does that work?
There's going to be some overlap because, of course, some people might come to the Monday that did not attend the
Yeah,
Thursday. If you attend both, of course, you're going to get a much deeper understanding of this, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
there will be a little bit of overlap, but we're also going to go a little further. We're going to go a little deeper, and it will be experiential. It will,
yeah.
yeah, it will not just be me talking to you the whole time.
And I think that the world of sound, I think that every body is different. As a massage therapist, you know this as someone who works within the realm of the human condition. We've all had different experiences, and our body holds stress in different ways. I think in many ways you can do all of the research and science of sound, and we should. And at the same time, when we approach another human, we have to listen to what that body is saying and be able to be experiential in our work and being able to open up into what is being presented in the here and now. And
Hmm.
I think in that way of being suspended as you're doing, you really go back to the womb. You really go back to that place of, I'm safe.
Yeah. And the people who attend will also have something to take with them to develop a personal practice for
Yeah,
themselves. And they can begin to experience this for themselves without another practitioner holding the space in the room. But we're going to get very much into, the practitioner in the room and how you hold that space and how you can develop this resonance and stay within your scope of practice as a sound practitioner.
that's awesome. We're really excited. You're going to be presenting 3 different times. Your October the 2nd at 10 a.m., the October 5th, a 4 hour conference, a 4 hour workshop. Then also you're going to be a part of the CTSP group that's going to have an hour presentation of what it was like being a part of that. I believe Wendy's going to be there. We're not sure, I don't think yet, but having those who have gone through this 270-hour incredible experience of education, I think is going to be very awesome for people to experience how that experience of education has really now informed you for the rest of your life, really.
Hmm.
Yeah. Is there
Yeah.
any, go ahead.
It's also helped me too, because like I said, I introduced this work, which is very touch heavy for massage practitioners, right? And
Yeah.
I've also been a judge and like an evaluator at different events around the world where people are presenting their work. And I am seeing more and more practitioners. I don't know their training, if they've had any training at all, but I'm seeing more and more massage therapists introduce sound into their work.
Yeah.
And I'm able through my training to really evaluate and discern, do I feel like they're really weaving that sound in?
Yeah.
So if you're somebody who is a massage therapist, in my community also, there's many people who evaluate um, massage practitioners at various events, and they too witness other massage practitioners introducing sound. So if you're somebody who is evaluating at these events and these showcases, championships, and that kind of thing in body work, you could benefit from this as well. Because even if you don't necessarily want to do it or you're not sure yourself, you can come learn about this and you're going to feel more empowered so that when you go back to your massage school, you're going to feel more empowered of how to evaluate practitioners that are using sound. You'll know what to look for, you'll know what kind of questions to ask. So there'll be a little bit of that as well because I understand that not every suspension may not be for everyone, but this is going to be experiential. You can experience it if you're in Georgia. I'm local. I have a studio that's not even far from where the conference is going to be. So you can schedule a session to just, feel it, experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
When I created this in part, I had an experience which is just one piece of the puzzle, one dot that led to me doing this work. But I worked on myself first, not knowingly or even setting the intention. I started exploring sound and movement and breath and developing a relationship with suspended fabric. And I started noticing some things that were shifting in me. And it was so profound that I just started introducing it with people that come in for my body work and sound therapy.
This work of sound, of movement, is an ancient practice, that goes back thousands and thousands of years. This is nothing new, but it's being regenerated in a new way. And my hat's off to you for being such an explorer, a pioneer in this work of not only aerial work, but also sound, massage, body work, movement. And I'm so excited that you're going to be a part of the conference. And we finally got you very much engaged with ISTA and the world of sound. Anything else you would like to say? Let me ask you, how important, you've been to many conferences, be it with all kinds of things. How important is it to be in conference, to be there in person?
I think it's very important. It connects you with the community and you find people that you resonate with. It sometimes can feel a little overwhelming. I go to some super big conferences and it can feel intense and it can feel overwhelming. Um, but you will find people that you resonate with, that resonate with you. And you can kind of extract from it really what resonates with you, right? So you can connect with some people and you can learn things you can't even imagine, and you can develop relationships that you would not have otherwise found if you didn't show up for these events. So I really hope that the attendees will really attend all of it, because if you attend all of it, that's where you're really going to get the most. I think the biggest challenge the attendees are going to have is when you have to choose which
I know.
some of it's overlapping, and then you have to. I've been to conferences like that. And it's like, oh, I really want to do
Yeah,
all of these, and I can't. I have to make a choice, you know.
yeah, yeah,
But this class what I will be presenting, I believe is truly unique and new perhaps to a lot of people. It's not
yeah,
new to me or my community of where I've been offering it for years, but this could be a whole new realm for many people, for many practitioners. So I really hope
yeah,
people will attend not only the workshop on the 2nd, but will attend on the 5th.
yeah.
And if you have more questions, I'm always here in Atlanta before or after the conference. I mean, you can even go to my website, and if you're curious, you can get started before the conference.
What is your website?
It's kristah.com. It's KRISTAH.com. And
Perfect.
there is a little tab you can click, aerial resonance therapy, where you can learn a little bit about it. And there's a button there, of course, you can schedule a session. And there is an application there for people to fill out or begin the journey if they think they might be interested in learning more about the training, most of which occurs here in Atlanta. I do teach some internationally, nationally and internationally, but a bulk of the training is here, and it's in small groups. It's anywhere from one-on-one to a maximum right now of 8
Yeah.
practitioners, 8 students.
Krista, you're a pioneer of doing this work. I really appreciate your wisdom, your experience, and your dedication into the world of sound. We look forward to having you with the ISTA conference that's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, October the 5th, October the 2nd through the 5th. So I urge everyone to come, be a part of it. Come in and be a part of something really amazing and good. Gain from the wisdom of people like Krista, gain from the wisdom of people that are going to be sitting next to you. So thank you so much for coming. Until next time, I'm Don Reed Simmons, and you are in the Sound Chamber.